What would make you care about somebody so much you want to hold their hand, put your arm around them in public? I always felt different my entire life growing up.
6 years ago, clinical psychologist and narcissism expert Dr. Ramani told me and the world about narcissism.
One rule of thumb to remember right off the bat: every psychopath is narcissistic, but not every narcissist is psychopathic.
That was our very first video and now has more than 15 million views. MedCircle has produced more than 50 videos on narcissism since, just for our YouTube channel, and many more at medcircle.com for our members. Dr. Ramani has helped many victims, and at the same time has caused quite the stir.
I know who Dr. Ramani is. I'm part of a lot of self-aware narcissist Facebook groups, and people mention her all the time in there as well. They don't give her a glowing review.
While MedCircle's production quality has drastically improved, and my interview style, for that matter, has improved, one thing has certainly stayed the same. Narcissism is widespread and misunderstood. But in my hundreds of hours of interviewing dozens of doctors on the topic and focusing on helping victims, I've never once heard the narcissist perspective. That is, until I met self-aware narcissist Lee Hammock. Growing up, Lee always felt different. Relationships were difficult, and he didn't understand how someone could care so deeply about another person.
Every single relationship that I got into always ended the same exact way. I would be madly in love with somebody, they would be the center of my earth, and then just one day I would wake up and the person, it's like the lights would go off in our relationship.
But as an adult, Lee got married to his wife Delaney, and after an explosive fight with her, Lee decided it was time to seek help.
And then one day, my wife had went to work or something like that, and I was watching my 5-6-month-old son, and he was just crying, and I was trying to do something. I was like, this is why I'm not successful. Cause I got these screaming babies and kids and wives hold me back, and I was just yelling and going. I was literally like narcissistic, ready, I was losing my mind. And she just happened to come back in the house, and me and her got into a huge argument, and I just told her to get out. And then she was on the way out, and she's like, "It's so hard living with a narcissist." I was just like, "What?" But then she left, and then I was just so steaming hot that I just pulled on my phone. I was like, "Why did she call me a narcissist?" So I got on her and typed in the word narcissist into Google, and it said, "Did you mean narcissistic personality disorder?" So I clicked on it, and then of course it's just like narcissistic personality disorder, all the traits and signs and symptoms. And I was reading it, and I was just like, this is me. I am a narcissist.
During his therapy sessions, Lee uncovered some painful truths about his family history and his childhood.
My father, on the other hand, he was extremely, he's just emotionally neglectful. I feel like he focused on just women and having more children and whatnot. And I feel like there's nothing that I could do to make him happy. And I carried that burden with me until I actually got into the therapy. My therapist, she'll be like, when people mention your dad and you get angry, your dad has control over you.
Wow.
That sucks. So like, how do I get rid of this? Like, maybe he can help you to figure out where he came from, why he is the way he is. I don't know his dad. He died when my dad was younger. We found his death certificate. There no pictures, no birth certificate, no nothing. I was like, oh, okay, cool. His death certificate. So I started going through it. You know what I mean? Saw the date he died, day he was born, cause of death, gunshot wound to the head. I was like, wait, what?
Oh, wow.
It's like suicide. It was like small caliber gunshot wound to the head. And my dad found him, so being 7 or 8 years old in the 70s, there's no therapy for no little boys. And my therapist was like, I don't have schizophrenia, but she think my grandfather had undiagnosed schizophrenia, which caused him to, take his own life, which my father found him, which traumatized him, which caused him to grow up to be a neglectful parent, which traumatized me. It made me lead to my narcissistic personality disorder. So there's a little bit of, nature and nurture in that space right there.
With the conversations I've had with experts on the topic of narcissism, most would say that it comes from a combination of nature and nurture, perhaps with an emphasis on nurture. Here's what Dr. Ramani has to say.
It's mostly made, but there's a little bit of born. We see people come from invalidating early environments or overindulged or spoiled in early environments, and they don't turn out narcissistic. So there's got to be something else at play, right? And that's probably where that temperamental piece comes in. Kids who are likely more hypersensitive, hyper-emotional.
Throughout therapy, Lee also learned a lot about his own behavior in relationships, especially with his wife.
I've tried to find other therapists, not because like she's been a bad therapist, because like she's had kids throughout our therapy session, throughout our kind of journey together. And every time she has a kid, she goes off for like 2 or 3 months. And every time that would happen, my wife would end up leaving. I was like, ugh. I would use therapy as kind of like a venting session for things that I was holding in, things that I feel like I wasn't comfortable sharing with my wife. So I would use my therapist as kind of that vent right there to share certain things and how I felt about my relationship, but also about my past. And she would just kind of guide me. Me and my therapist have I trust her so much, you know, to tell her certain things I wouldn't tell anybody else. But that also became problematic in my relationship. Like I told you, every time she would go out, my wife would leave.
Right.
And that's because I was still not sharing things with my wife that I had going on inside of my head. One of my biggest regrets is that all my kids get different versions of me. I have a 16-year-old, right? I've been in therapy for 7 years. So he had 7-8 years of me just being just the narcissist that had a baby because he felt like he wanted to have kids young. Mm-hmm. You know, my 7-year-old, you know, he was the one I was screaming at, you know, when he was a baby. Mm-hmm. My 3-year-old, she just get the best version of me. And I don't even yell at her, you know, it's just like, just a couple years ago, you'd have got it. You were born in the right decade. But it's just like, that's the biggest struggle. It's just like acknowledging I was a different person for each birth of each one of my kids.
But with all of this new information that Lee has about himself, can he actually change? Can a narcissist develop more empathy? Well, here's what Dr. Ramani has to say.
I haven't seen any change. The heartbreak of narcissism is that you can actually train this person to be a little bit more empathic, to not be so jerky and not be so entitled and actually listen to other people. As soon as there's some stress in the system, they blow again. The rubber band goes right back. And so narcissists don't tend to retain that growth, maybe a tiny bit, but usually not enough for anyone to notice.
But what does Lee seem to think? Has he become a, quote, better person?
Self-awareness just means you know. Self-aware and taking the next steps of being better, that's a whole different dynamic. Now, my first thought is still narcissistic. And I just like, hey, you know what? It's crazy how can this serve me? Now I ask a follow-up question. How does this serve them? I would say that I have way more cognitive empathy than emotional empathy. Like, I understand what people are going through. I understand why you would feel that way. I just don't connect to it on an emotional level.
Like Dr. Ramani and many narcissistic abuse survivors, and for that sake, many narcissists themselves, I also believe that a narcissist can really only change if they really want to change, seek out help, and are consistent, and even then, that change is going to be quite small. Narcissism is a global epidemic. And if we want to bring solutions and peace and understanding to the masses, then we need to tackle this from every perspective. And that includes the perspective of the narcissist.